You are listening to the So Now What podcast with Lana Manikowski, episode number 110. It is so good to be here with you this week. I know that it's been a few weeks since I have recorded a fresh episode of the podcast, and I've checked in with you. And I want to talk about that a little bit today because this is the start of a new year. And I want to talk today about what you want from this year. I think that there seems to be a lot of pressure that we get to choose resolutions. And when people say, like, what's your New Year's resolution? You have this like expectation that it's got to be something jaw-dropping and wowing to people. And I disagree. But before we get into that, let me fill you in on what's been going on here in the life of Lana Manikowski. I finished out my year in my corporate sales job and absolutely crushed it, ladies. And if you heard last week or last episode I recorded, I'm going for something called President's Club. I will find out January 23rd if I won President's Club. And I will be sure that I come back and report to you. If you are somebody who felt really stuck in your career after you found out that you couldn't become a mom, or maybe struggled to maintain your career and your focus while you were going through fertility treatments, you might understand why achieving this award means so much to me. It's offers me an ability to see how I can be recommitted to me and recommitted to achieving goals and meeting goals and taking myself somewhere that I had never been. Because for a long time after fertility treatments ended, you may have found yourself feeling really lost in your career. May have found yourself not sure you want to go after things or achieve different things than what you've been doing for fear that you might not do it right, or people might think that you've kind of lost your luster because inside your brain you've felt like you've lost your luster because you weren't able to achieve your goal of motherhood, or maybe you were just juggling a lot. So me winning President's Club is much less about that actual title of President's Club and much more representational of what is possible for us when we are not able to achieve our goal of motherhood, and we are committed to putting ourselves back into a place of vulnerability, maybe for some, a place of setting new goals and achieving new things and desired outcomes in our lives. And know that when I win this, it is not just for me, but it's for all of you too. And to celebrate who we are and who we continue to become in this life that turned out so differently than we thought it would. So I'll keep you posted on that. Again, January 23rd, give me all your good vibes and I'll report back to you on how that goes. I've also decided that I am going to open up my next class of the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind in February. And things are going to be a little bit different than I've done in past classes. I'm very much somebody who wants to continuously evolve and up-level what it is that I'm offering in this community. And so if you decide that you want to create the life you love without the children you always dreamed of in 2024, make sure that you reach out. Make sure you apply for the next round of Thrive After Infertility. We will likely take the students in this round that are ready to create something different than what they have seen in their past of, feeling as though life always has to feel this stuck and feel this heavy, because it's not true, A, but B, you are deserving of so much more. So I do have an application process for Thrive. And the only reason I ask for an application is that I'm very much committed to delivering to my students what it is that they're seeking. So when I ask you to fill out the application for Thrive, it's not because I want to select only a certain amount of people who say the right things or do the right things. It's because I want to give you what you are seeking And if you're willing to pay me to join my coaching program, then I want to be able to deliver you what you've been searching for. So I feel like it's a two-way street. And I want to make sure that you are set up for the success that you're looking for. And if for some reason what you're seeking, I don't feel like I can fulfill, I'll provide you the name of someone who might be better aligned for you, because I'm not here to tell people that things are possible if I'm not the right person to help them achieve that. So make sure that if 2024 is the year that you want to create a life that feels easier to you and you feel more fulfilled in, make sure that you fill out the application. Go to lanamanikowski.com/thrive and you'll see a place to hit work with me. It'll prompt you to get more information about the application, or just DM me. Reach out to me on Instagram, lana.manikowski, and we'll figure out what we can do to help you create the life that you love again. So let's talk about this week and this year and the things that you might have felt like you needed to say when people asked what your New Year's resolutions are. I do things a lot differently than most people, and I feel really good about that. And I do things that feel in alignment with who I am and who I am today, not the past version of me, not the person I was when I was going through fertility treatments or the person I was maybe even before, but who I am today, what feels good to me. So when I think about what I want to accomplish for the year, I make sure that it's things that I truly want to do. It's things that feel like they'll be fun for me to do. Or maybe if they don't feel fun immediately, the result I'm going to create through the doing of that thing feels really like full of pride and alignment and joy for me. And I think a lot of people do New Year's resolutions wrong because they say, oh, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And then they don't achieve their goal through a means that feels healthy to them or feels challenging a little bit, but not overwhelmingly stressful, where all of a sudden you're cutting out something from your diet and you feel like you're white knuckling it because you've told yourself that you're going to lose 30 pounds. So you all know that how I got into life coaching was through my weight gain. I had gone through Weight Watchers multiple times, Whole30, intermittent fasting, any type of diet you can think of. And I'd be really good at following it and losing X amount of weight. And the minute that I stopped that diet because it wasn't maintainable for me, I gained it all back. And then I happened to come across a woman. Her name's Corinne Crabtree. She's been on the podcast. I want to say it's something like episode 34, 37, one of those two. You'll hear all about how we came to find each other. But she was the first person who taught me that I could lose my weight in a way that felt good to me. And so when you think about the things that you want to accomplish this year, maybe it's overwhelming to think about what you're going to do for the whole year. Maybe you want to start with something that you want to accomplish for this month, this week, maybe even today, and start there by doing something that feels good to you. Not something that feels restrictive and terrible and scary to you, but something that you can envision how you're going to feel when you're done doing it, and it evokes a good feeling inside of you. Because if you do something that you hate doing, or you do something that seems way too hard for you, and it might be hard for you in the beginning. I'm not saying that you can't challenge yourself to do something new, but is there a level of fun or a good feeling of challenge that comes along with doing that thing to achieve the goal that you're striving for? Because I have seen way too many people drop out of doing things and drop things off their list of goals that has kept them feeling really stuck because they've approached it with a mindset that you just have to white knuckle it and just plow your way through it. And where did we learn that? Most of us learn that through our childhood, or maybe through the way that we approached infertility treatments, where we just felt like we had to have our blinders on and just keep showing up. And no matter how depleted and emotionally drained we were, and how much our bodies were just tapped out, we felt like we needed to continue on. And that's not a bad thing. But know that now that you're at a point where that journey is over for you, you have an opportunity to move forward in life in a way that feels really in alignment with who you want to be. So when you're thinking about what you want to accomplish today, next week, next month, or for the year, if you've chosen that, I want you to really think about how you're going to get there in a way that feels in alignment with you. And how do you know if you're in alignment? You might hear me talk about being in alignment a lot and be like, what the heck is this woman talking about? Being in alignment is doing something that has some sort of nourishment for you. Something that when you think about doing it and you think about waking up tomorrow, you're going to have a lot more thoughts of, I'm proud that she made that decision, or I'm proud that she did that or chose to complete that task. Like, you're going to wake up tomorrow feeling in alignment with yourself when you are proud of the things that you are doing, when you are excited to daydream about this life that you're going to have. And it doesn't feel like it's so hard, but it feels like there's these moments of excitement that become evoked inside of you when you think about what you're going to do and what you're choosing to accomplish. So I want there to be this sense of ownership in what you are choosing to do or what you're choosing to accomplish with your year, and a sense of pride that it doesn't have to be, a sense of pride and a belief that it doesn't have to be hard, that you're willing to do something that might seem hard for you now, but you're able to break it up into steps that make it easier for you to do each day. So for example, if you're looking at, say, losing 30 pounds by the end of this year, like, why is 30 the magic number for you? Did somebody tell you that that's how much weight you wanted to lose? Do you want to meet the weight you were before you started fertility treatments? Do you want to meet the weight you have listed on your driver's license? Because let's be honest, most of us might have a weight that is way outdated. Maybe it's the weight we were when we got our driver's license when we were 16, and we've decided that changing our weight on our driver's license means something bad about us. So in your mind, you're like, oh, I want to be back to 145. Like, that's the weight I have on my driver's license. 145 isn't a healthy weight for me. 145 isn't the weight as Lana in 2024 that my body feels comfortable being at. So is the goal that you're choosing something that feels realistic to you? Maybe you can up-level your goal after it's easy for you to meet a smaller goal, and then say, you know what? I've got some tools. I've figured out ways to navigate what it is that I've been looking to achieve. And it actually, I think I found my momentum in it. I think I found my mojo in it. And maybe I'm going to modify and change up what it is that I want to accomplish with this year. But it feels really daunting if there's this huge behemoth goal and you become much less motivated to achieve it and meet it because it feels like such a heavy lift. So when it comes to creating your resolutions for this year, know that your resolution is not to impress anybody but you. If somebody's resolution seems so much more sparkly and jingle jangle than yours does, let them do that. But you are choosing to do something that feels true to you and feels attainable for you and doesn't have to be impressive to anyone but you. So I believe that that's the way that you're going to meet your goals for this year and meet your resolutions and create more wins for yourself, because the more opportunities you have to create a win for yourself, even if it means having one handful of potato chips instead of four at snack time, if having one handful of potato chips is a win for you, let's celebrate the hell out of that. Instead of saying, oh, I effed it all up because I had a handful of potato chips today and I'm never going to meet my goal and I'm never going to lose my weight and I'm never going to be back to that weight that I fit into, that little black dress that's been hanging in the closet that I feel like wearing to the wedding that I'm invited to in April. Okay. So find an opportunity to create small wins every single day and celebrate the hell out of them. And how do you celebrate the hell out of them? You write them down every night before you go to bed. You write down 3 things that you did today that you're super proud of. No one's going to take an evaluation of whether they're worthy of hand snap or hand claps and finger snaps. No one is going to tell you whether you should or shouldn't be proud of what they are. It is up to you to decide what 3 things you are going to write down every single night before you go to bed that make you really feel proud of who you showed up being in your life today. So I am going to leave you with that. I am going to plan on getting back on track with being more regular with the podcast episodes. So know that this is the first of many to come for 2024. And know that if you're wanting to thrive and feel fulfilled in 2024, joining the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind, hands down, is the best way you are going to do that. So I invite you to apply for the Thrive Mastermind. Reach out if there's any questions you have or anything I can do to clarify anything that might be telling you that this isn't the right thing for you. And know that I'll be honest. I'll do my best to provide you the support that you're needing in 2024. So I love you. And remember, it is never too late to discover your meaning.